Hey, what's up guys? The lowest skill deck in the game just reached the highest rank at #1 in the world. By steadily cycling your cheap cards with goblins, minions, and archers, you can get to the archer's evolution, while impatient opponents will spam into your bowler, knocking them right back. Or they'll test the waters with a win condition, allowing you to activate King Tower with the Fisherman. This is one of the best decks to play because it has a response to everything. If opponents overcommit into Evolved Archers, Bowler, or Fisherman, you can go for a Goblin Giant in front of your counter-pushing cards, range up your Goblin Giant spam when your opponent's down Elixir, and deal destructive damage that they can't hope to come back from. When this deck hits double Elixir, Goblin Giant Lightning thrives. You're able to roll a big push by starting a Bowler in the back, throwing a Goblin Giant in front of it, and lightning away any defensive structure or high damage unit. And then you range up the Goblin Giant to expedite its journey towards the tower, and the Bowler so it chucks rocks through the units onto the tower. It's time to assert dominance with the lowest skill strategy that somehow reached the highest rank. Lots of love to everyone that's supporting the channel with credit code SirTag. Hey, this guy finished 282 in the world. Let's go. So if we're playing against someone at this caliber and we're using the rank 1 deck, obviously our rank will be triumphant, right? Oh, I actually didn't switch my tower. I'm still running the Cannoneer tower. So if you guys are unaware, Cannoneer probably is going to be better with fast cycle decks where you have a lot of attack speed. It isn't necessarily going to be as good when you're running a beatdown deck, at least in my opinion. We're still going to be playing it with the first game of the day, but we'll be switching back after, hopefully. Maybe, who knows? Dude, wait, the Archer is going to lock onto the tower, and we can activate King Tower against a Giant Skeleton. As weird as this might seem, if we go in for the Fisherman right now, we're going to be able to pull the Giant Skeleton to the King Tower and activate King Tower despite it being on our tower, as long as he doesn't clone it, which he doesn't, thankfully. All right, we're going to go in for our minions on top of the Fisherman, and then when he Royal Giants, it's not that big of a consideration for me because I can go for a Bowler, get a huge counter push, knock back the Zappy, right? Okay, wait, the Zappy was in a weird spot. How did it get targeted by my tower? It doesn't even make sense. I'm so confused right now. Dude, my tower's at 1,500 health, so I guess at this point, like when you're running Cannoneer, it isn't necessarily as good in specific situations where the opponent is going to be able to get onto the tower because obviously you're going to have less tower health to work with. So if you're starting at a lower point than your opponent and your opponent's getting on your tower, then you're really in trouble. So that's why I like running it with control decks more so than beatdown decks, because with beatdown decks, I can't really defend as much. So I'm going to go for Goblins. He is going to go and click his ability. Unfortunately, that is just obnoxious. I don't appreciate that behavior. We are going to be able to melt the Queen, so that's good, I guess. Maybe something like that is decent. Then going for Rage with the Goblin Giant, possibly. And can we melt everything? Not really. I mean, we're trying to finish off all these Zappies, but it's not looking great. The good thing that we have here is we have the potential of going and pulling his Royal Giant to the other side using our Fisherman if we want to. The Zappies will get one-tapped by the tower, so that's good. I just don't know if the other one's going to get one-tapped. Okay, thankfully it does. Wow. I was like, well, that's relatively full HP, so I didn't know if it was going to be messing with me. I'm going to go Bowler in the back on the same side that he wants to be going in. Obviously, I think that's where he's going to go for the Giant Skeleton and stuff like that. So if we go for Goblin Giant, we probably want to prioritize making sure that we block the middle. So then when he goes in for a Fisherman, it's going to go and pull the wrong thing. Oh, he's going to go and pull the Bowler. That's interesting. Well, now he doesn't have Fisherman cycle. So how's he expecting to defend against this? What is the strategy? I mean, if you're going to go with Zappies, that's not going to be enough. Also, we can Lightning on top of the Queen. This is going to be huge. Let's freaking go. As long as we can go and get Archers down here, I think we're fine, please. Pull a Giant Skeleton. We can go Goblins on top of the Fisherman. This is monstrous, guys. We're going to be able to defend the Fisherman. 30 seconds left. All we have to do is stop a Royal Giant. I think we can if we can go for a Fisherman on the other side and pull the Royal Giant right now. For the memes. For the memes. Pull the Royal Giant to the other side. Let's go. I cannot believe that worked. I am absolutely in shock right now that worked as well as it did. Literally pulling it to the other side at the last possible second, saving me from my own stupidity of running the Cannoneer, and we popped off. And this guy is furious right now. It's giving us the yawns. It's giving us the angry face. And you know what, dude? You get blasted to a different dimension by our Fisherman. There's no doubt the Fisherman caught the title of MVP of the match as it caught us the win and allowed us to catch the medals from our opponent, pushing us up the ranks to 5,400 in the world. It's time to correct our wrongs and actually switch to the Princess Tower because that game was sketchy and there's no doubt it would have been easier with a higher health tower there. And with that, we've successfully cannonballed the Cannoneer out of our deck. Hey, we got a game against Utopia. What's up, man? I love how you spell that name. So it feels good having a Princess Tower at the same level as our opponents. So we're going to be able to finish off that Skeleton King utilizing our Fisherman. I bet you it's going to be another Royal Giant deck, but a different flavor, if you will. After we see Skeletons and Bats and all these other cards, maybe it's not a Royal Giant deck. I'm confused. We are going to go for a Rage so we can guarantee that we pull the King and don't get clipped onto the Skellies. That's always one of the worst things in the world. When you go and lock onto skeletons instead of the Skeleton King. Wait, this guy's in a terrible spot. He must have overcommitted right there. Dude, we're going to go and pull the Giant Skeleton too, right off of the Goblin Giant. And then we can go Goblins to go and pull the Giant Skeleton again, but I don't want to. As much as it would be an appealing transaction for me, the reality of the situation is we're up so much that I don't want to just tarnish my chances of defending. It's important to be pragmatic about the position that you're in, and if you're up a lot, get further and further ahead so you don't wind up dead randomly spamming when you don't need to. Ooh, these goblins. We do not love it. We definitely do not love dropping goblins into arrows. Oh my gosh. Chill, bro. Well, we've identified that he has arrows, and that is a great counter to archers and minions and my goblins. So he has really good answers to our graveyard answers, which is not it. We do not want his answers to counter my answers because then we have no answers. And then they're failures. They devolve in the wrong direction. So I'm going to go in for our minions here, and maybe we can go in for a Goblin Giant on the other side. It's going to be hard for us to find an opportunity to break through here. We know that I go Giant Skeleton, and then I can go in for Evolved Archers and then Rage maybe. I'm hoping this works. We'll have to wait and see. Oh! Skeletons can't touch me! Let's go! That was so lucky. I'm actually flabbergasted by the fact that that worked. Oh, these goblins were tragic. Those were so dumb. Why did I do that? What am I doing? Why am I griefing? I'm griefing. Okay. I didn't expect to end my own game, but here it is. The most interesting plays you'll ever see. We're going to go in for a bowler. We can also go for a Goblin Giant, but I think bowler is just better, right? We can go archers. Use this arrows on the Winions. Yes, the Winions are winning us the game. No doubt about it. Don't even doubt it for a second. We can go in for a Goblin Giant, and then we can go Goblins on the right, and then we can go Rage, depending on what he does. I genuinely don't know, because he can't really go in for Skeletons or anything like that, because he just Rage the Goblin Giant. If we snag the entire left-hand side, then we don't even have to worry about the other one. Wait, let's Lightning? Yo, let's go. Tower done. Down and dusted. 21 seconds remaining, so all we have to do is not be stupid here. Like, if I don't lose the left-hand side, I win the game. Because he has to take 2 towers at once, so obviously he's going to focus on the higher HP tower, because if he takes this out, then he actually has a fighting shot in the game. If he decided to go and focus on the right-hand tower, then I would have tower traded him, and then he would have lost. So he had to somehow take an entire HP tower there, and that wasn't going to happen. But you know what? We're living in utopia. While this guy's descending down to the depths of despair. While we bask in the light of glory, climbing up some ranks all the way up to 4,700 in the world. So we got a game against Lyric, and it's our mission to make this man be singing a sad tune after he sees our deck. Obviously, utter devastation. The Hog Rider gets a hit on our tower. It's incorrigible to have that happen. Beyond correction, Clash Royale. How dare he go in for a Hog Rider when we don't have our Fisherman in cycle? I hate when that happens, when you just don't have the right card cycle. Also, I messed up. I should have raged on the tower directly, but it's all good. Go for Goblins here. The Mortar is not going to be able to hit our tower. So the Archer finishes off the Mortar somehow. The Archer was purposely played in the best spot possible. She's wiggling her way behind the Goblins. That Archer is my hero. 1 health, and she might have won me the game. Seriously, that is ridiculous value. She wasn't even evolved, yet she's probably going to be better than all the evolved archers that we cycle for the rest of the match. We go for a Fisherman here. We're not going to be able to activate King Tower with the archers anyway, so might as well just like yoink it to the other side. It's not going to hit my tower. Well, it did hit my tower at the start, but it's not going to hit it again. We also want to go in for dueling pressure, and the reason why we decided to drop our Fisherman on the other side is like, hey, if we're able to, we'd like to go and yoink a Dark Goblin and force that extra elixir on both sides. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. The guy just decided to dedicate his entire response in the right-hand lane, went in for an aggressive Rascals and also a Log. So he allocates 7 elixir there. So genuinely, if we're playing against a Log bait deck, it's going to be ideal for us to go in for Goblins against the Goblin Barrel. I think it might be a Hog Rider Log bait deck, honestly. That's what I'm feeling right now. Maybe it's going to be a Suspicious Cern running something else, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. We could Lightning on a Princess if that's going to happen later in the game, but obviously in single elixir, we can't necessarily do that. That's a -3 trade, and then if our opponent's up 3 elixir, he'll throw a Goblin Barrel, and then I'm like, oh, thanks, man. Now I have nothing, and I lose. So it's better for us to just play patient, play the right plays, and not be stupid with this deck, because it's generally going to give us matchup advantages and make the game easier for us, and our opponent is put in a position where they have to do the right decisions, and they have to think through everything that they do. So I like that. Also, we can Lightning on top of a Dark Goblin and also the Mortar if we want. Or we could just Lightning on the Thick Boy and the Mortar. I mean, there's so many different decisions that we can make here. I think it's better for us to go in for the Rage so the Goblin Giant gets 1 hit on the tower if that would happen, but I guess not. We're going to go and push back to the Hog Rider, and we'll go for Goblins. Yo, it's going to hit the Rascal Girls too. We're a mischievous man with the bowler. I think it's one of the most underrated cards in Clash Royale. Everyone thinks that bowler is just like, you know, it's good. It's a support card, but it's broken in my opinion. Like, it wholly deserves a nerf. All right, I think we rage this because we can go and kill the Dark Goblin with the rage. And then we're going to be able to rage up the Goblin Giant, so it's moving faster, attacking faster. And it's going to end in a disaster for our opponent. Oh, he's not ready. The bowler is going to hit everything here. It's ridiculous when this works. All right, we're going to lightning so we can guarantee that we don't lose the game right now. We have to clean up the goblins. And then we're eventually going to do the latest King Tower activation you guys have ever seen. You know, right before overtime hits and sudden death. That's when we go in for the precise King Tower activation plays. You're learning to hear first, guys. These are the plays to mark your success. Please, bowler, get down in time. Yes! That was so close to being bad for us. Let me get minions on top of the Dark Goblin, and I want to go in for a Goblin Giant in the back so I can build up a bigger push. It'd be harder for us to break through this, I think, if we're going to be spamming Goblin Giants at the river, because we want to be able to afford the lightning. Generally, with lightning, your deck is going to be costing a lot more. Goblin Giant plus lightning is basically my entire elixir bank. So I'm going to go in for a fisherman really low, so then the Hog Rider is going to get pulled. I don't necessarily think this is like the best thing in the world, but I just don't want to take much damage. And then we can just eat all that and then go in for a bowler off to the side. As long as the bowler decides to roll some strikes on top of those Rascal Girls, we're chilling. That's exactly what's cooking. So Dark Goblin's coming through. I could lightning on this to kill the Dark Goblin and get like, I don't know, 500 damage on the tower. I think that's worth it. Yo, he's going for the most obnoxious hunter of his life. Wait, dude, you're losing like all your health to the fisherman. What if I go for dual lane pressure? There's a play to be made here. And it's called not doing that. It's called dropping a bowler on top of a Hog Rider. For the 12th time in a row, this bowler is doing the same thing that it's done before. Oh, we can go minions? And then we can go in for a Goblin Giant. Goblin Giant's going to be good here because it will be able to kill the rest of his stuff. Obviously, it's going to be a bit annoying to play against someone with Dark Goblin there. And obviously, the mortar is not going to be in cycle to pull the Goblin Giant. So let's just spam. Wham, bam, I-bridge spam. We have a plan, and it's called cycling 2 bowlers at the river and raging them up. They are angry big balls of rocks, and they're ready to rock your world. Wow. Doesn't even matter, guys. We're using the goblins instead of the Goblin Giant. We're evolving, but backwards for the victory. Everyone says the 6 elixir Shrek is overpowered, and no one gives enough appreciation to the 2 elixir Stabby Sirs. As our Goblin Daggers made their mark, we've made some more medals, pushing us to 4,000 in the world. We jump into the game against Freddy. Maybe this guy's gonna have a toxic deck. I feel like we've been playing against pretty mainstream decks recently today, and I feel like we're just ready for something crazy, something spectacular, you know, like a Battle Healer Mirror deck. Okay, he's just eating the archer damage, so he's probably running something beatdown-esque. It might not be that far off. It might be a Golem Battle Healer deck, because we see, no, he's got Snowball. Golem Battle Healer never runs that. So if I go in for a Goblin Giant at the river, I could test my luck and figure out what my opponent's going to be playing. It is a very risky and dumb strategy to do, but our deck is low skill, so we want to do it anyway. I mean, we got Rage out here too, so we're testing the waters and seeing if we can persevere. Please give me a lightning value. Yes, sir. That's a lot of lightning value, but it's also a lot of elixir. So I played stupidly, and it seems like it's successful. I'm up 1,000 damage right out of the jump, and we have Fisherman to activate King Tower, depending on what he wants to do. Oh, he's up 5 elixir right now. This might not be good for us. I don't know if I can defend against a giant graveyard or a giant Sparky deck. So we have to wait and see what this man wants to do. I'm going to go for a bowler in the same side. So he's got giant Sparky, it looks like. I want to go and pull the giant to the other side with our fisherman so we can dissect his push. I'm going to go for minions on top of the Sparky. So then he might have to go and counter this. Oh, interesting. So the Sparky is just going to die to goblins here. And we're able to dissect the push as expected. Oh, he thought we were going to go for goblins early or something. But we're clean with it. We drop our goblins late. And we give him a lot to hate with that. So Archer's counter pushing, Goblins coming afterward. If he predicted small goblins there or skeletons or anything, he would have probably won the game because then the Sparky would have locked onto our tower. So he invested 3 elixir, but he arrowed the ground. This guy is a pretty feisty foe for sure. I'm going to go bowler here, and I'm going to knock that back. So it looks like he's running Evolved Knight with Giant Sparky, which means that the later the game goes, the better it is going to be for him generally, because obviously the Evolved Knight is going to be a problem. Wait, you got Graveyard with this? Dude, chill. Don't do this to me right now. I literally am in such a bad spot. I'm kind of in shambles mentally after that. We're going for Evolved Archers, but they're not going to be inside the Rage. Wait, look at the bowler on the left. It's locking onto the tower too. He's not able to stop that. He loses the tower. Let's freaking go. I was shocked by the Sparky Graveyard deck, not going to lie, but With 26 seconds remaining, I don't know if this guy's going to be able to pull off any miraculous heist on our tower. Also, if we go for bowler in the middle, it's for the memes, because now the evolved archer is staying alive longer and locking on the tower. Wait, can we have redemption? Just like the fisherman part 2? Dude, it's going to happen again. We're pulling the giant to the other side again. Not a royal giant this time, but we're still royally screwing him over. We're going to go in for the archers on defense, and we have a cleanup against the giant Sparky graveyard deck. I was trying to summon the mirror battle healer deck, and we somehow got greeted by a Sparky surprise with giant graveyard. Double the win conditions, double the threats, and if I messed up once, I was 100% dead. But with fishermen, archers, and goblins on defense, you're able to defend cheaply and efficiently, so you can make defenses on the go, even if you don't know what you're playing against. As our archer arrows pierce through our opponents, we've pushed up to 3,100 in the world. Hey, my dude has the 3-crown banner! We need to secure the 3-crown right now. We need to fulfill his destiny. I'm going to go for archers in the back, but I actually misclicked it and it said no card selected. So already off to an awesome start where I know how to drop my cards correctly. It doesn't matter because I'm running Goblin Giant. So even if I'm like playing with my nose, I'm pretty sure that I'll have pinpoint accuracy. Okay, so we're going to Goblin Giant the other side because he decided to go in for a pretty aggressive play of dropping a Phoenix first play. I don't love that on his end. Please stop pulling goblins. Don't do this to me right now. Finish off the royal giant, pull it to the other side, do something, please, fisherman. Okay, he activates King Tower as well. I wasn't talking about his fisherman. I was talking about my fisherman. This is a very fishy situation where he activates King Tower and we activate nothing. So, not good. But I guess in reality, it wouldn't have mattered because he's running Royal Giant. So if I activate King Tower against Royal Giant, wow, I get a prize of nothing because the Royal Giant shoots my tower across the river. Anyway, we're looking at this right now, and I definitely want to go in for a bowler, and then I can go and pull this backward. I don't want to go and pull it to the other side, do I? I guess I might want to now if it's going to get that amount of damage. That's crazy. Chill, Royal Giant. Stop it. Wait, the Royal Giant's so confused. It's like looking at the King Tower. That was whack. The Royal Giant's like, must go towards middle. Middle solves the riddle. All right, you know what? If I rage this up, I'm pretty sure that the Goblin Giant's going to do a lot of damage. The Fisherman's going to take its sweet time finishing off the Goblin Giant. And if the Goblin Giant locks on the tower, then we're vibing. It's locking onto the Fisherman instead with the Spear Goblins. Ideally, if the Goblin Giant locks on a tower, you always rage it up then. Because then you're guaranteed value. All right, what do we do? Do we just go Goblins? I think this is probably the best place. If the Fisherman goes and yoinks that, well, the Phoenix is distracted, and then we're going to be okay. How much damage are we going to take today? Fisherman dies. I think that the Phoenix egg dies. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. No! Stop it, you stupid egg! Why are you doing this to me? I don't want to get scrambled like that. All right, well, my brain got fried, and that's not good. We don't like that. All right, we're going for a bowler in the back on the same side as his Royal Ghost, and then we're going to go and pull, and we're going to go for archers on top of his Fisherman that he's probably going to drop. He's going to fireball me. That was not what I thought at all. I thought he was going to predict my Fisherman, or actually, after he saw our Fisherman, I thought he was going to respond to our Fisherman with Fisherman, because then he would stop my Fisherman from pulling. He would pull my Fisherman, but he didn't do it. I don't know why. I really thought it was going to happen. I thought it was going to be a Fisherman festival. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was kind of a weird interaction where I sacrificed my evolved archers for a ridiculous bad play. Sometimes we do that. Oh, we want this so bad. Please lock onto the tower, bowler. You know you want to strike down the tower. Yes, let's go. That's lightning range, baby. Okay, he's going to go Royal Giant on the left, 100%. So we have to go and pull this away with the Fisherman, and this is very predictable. So that's not good for us. We're going to have to go in for a rage. Please rage this RG down. Stop the damage. All right, now he's going to go for the most capricious Fisherman I've ever seen at the river. And that Fisherman, even though it's enhanced by the river element, it's not necessarily going to be able to catch anything it wants. GG and well played. We lightning through with the W. After catching a lot more medals, we've pushed up to 2,700 in the world. I gotta say, the green Goblin Giant goes insane with rage. I'm sure you can play with one thumb and still win with this deck, because the Goblin Giant has a green thumb, growing damage in every matchup you play. Pros have been complaining about it for months, and Clash Royale hasn't touched it. And this deck is #1 in the world for a reason. You can rage your way up the ranks without using your brain. Like, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an amazing rest for your day.